Hi, I'm Dr. Faye Hargrove, and I want to thank you for tuning in to our 2020 Letting Go series. So the holidays are over. We've spent the time with families and attended our parties, and now it's time to settle in for the new year. In fact, we're starting a whole new decade, and I am so excited. I love the fact that 2020 also reminds us of perfect vision. So as we look to this new year and this new decade with clarity, let us be intentional about not bringing into the future we create the baggage from the past. Chances are we're entering the year dragging old ways of thinking and old ways of feeling and expecting new outcomes. The truth is, if we keep on doing what we've always done, we'll keep on getting what we always got. Look, we cannot change the past. We cannot change other people. However, we can change how we feel and what we think about situations from our past. And like I always like to say, when we know better, we do better. So this is how the 2020 Letting Go series will work. I invite you to join me for several short videos that will provide an actual intervention to help you release emotions from your past. Emotions such as anger and resentment, depression and sadness, your fears and anxieties, the guilt or shame you may be harboring, and then limiting beliefs, limiting decisions that you've made, and self-doubt and your insecurities. In each video, I will guide you through the process. This is the same process that I use in my office with my clients and that I presented in my book, Better Choices. However, through the 2020 Letting Go series on YouTube, you get the experience free of charge in the comfort of your home. I'm offering this series to help all of us to be the best version of ourselves in 2020. Let's face it, don't we need more people in the world right now who are kind, confident, and adding to a culture of peace? As cliche as it might sound, I want to be the change that I'd like to see in the world, and I'd like to help facilitate that change in others. As an industrial organizational psychologist and performance coach, I've coached many people over the last 20 years, and I have found that regardless of whether you are the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, a student working to finish your education, a soldier returning from deployment, or a person who is returning to society after being incarcerated for many years, whether you're young or seasoned, regardless of your race, your religion, or your ethnic affiliation, there are some common concerns that we all share as human beings. And we can address those challenges and those concerns at our core, and we can remove whatever holds us back and keeps us separated. Then we can move forward and live fulfilling, impactful lives. When you are better, we all are better. So that is my goal for this series. The purpose for this video is to describe the process and help you know what to expect in future videos. Please subscribe and check the alerts button so that you will be informed when I've posted the next video, which will be instructions on letting go of stored anger. Now, I want to keep these videos to under 15 minutes, so let's get started. I earned the PhD in psychology from the University of Georgia, but most relevant to the journey you're about to take is the fact that about 10 years ago, I was trained as a master practitioner in neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP, where I learned a technique called timeline therapy, which was created by Dr. Tad James. I subsequently built on that process and included guided imagery that involves popping balloons to help you let go of the stored negative emotions. And I also included a forgiveness process for forgiving individuals from your past. I call this the Fresh Perspectives Reframing Process, or the short nickname is the balloon process. Indulge me for a moment while I demonstrate 3 important principles you will need. You will need to get these as we move forward. If you could, and I have the feeling you can, I'd like for you to recall 3 specific memories from your past. First memory, Can you recall a time when you were laughing? Maybe you were really cracking up, laughing. Maybe you were watching a movie, the kids were doing something funny, you were hanging out with friends, your cat was acting up, and you were really laughing. So, can you remember what you saw and remember what you heard in that memory when you were laughing? Excellent. Now, I'd like for you to think of another memory. Can you recall a time when you were angry? Maybe someone said something or did something, and in that specific event, you were angry. It's funny, some people have a much easier time coming up with the anger memory than the laughing memory. Excellent. Thank you. Now, the third memory. Can you recall a time when you were excited? Maybe you were about to go somewhere, see someone, get something, and you were like, yes, Christmas sale, so exciting, right? So can you recall a time, a specific memory in which you were excited? Thank you. Excellent. So now, let's think about what I've asked you to do. You've recalled 3 memories that you've stored in your place where all of your memories are stored. And you did it each time easily. And each time you recall the memory, for example, when you call the memory when you were laughing, most people started smiling, and I'll bet you did too. And then I asked you to think of a time when you were angry. And if you're like most people, the smile went away. Why was that? Maybe you started to feel a little of the anger that was associated with that situation. But then I asked you to think of a time when you were excited, and maybe the smile came back. So first you were laughing, then you were angry, and then you were excited. So you experienced 3 memories and 3 different emotions. How did you do that? Here are 3 basic principles I would like for you to take away as we prepare to participate in the 2020 Letting Go series. Principle number 1, you have a memory storage system. It is managed by your unconscious mind. Every experience you've ever had in your entire existence is stored at the unconscious or subconscious level, but I like to say unconscious, at the unconscious level. And not only are the memories stored, so are the emotions. And so when you recall the time when you were laughing, it's like you click on the file, you open the folder, and there are the facts associated with the laughter. And there was also the funny in the folder. And then you recall the time when you were angry. And it's like you clicked on the file in your storage folder, you opened the file, there were the facts, who said what, who was there, where you were, but then there were also the emotions. There was the anger. You were angry even though the situation may not be occurring at this moment right now. When you recall the time that you were excited, the anger magically disappeared. And all of a sudden you were excited. So principle number 1 is, you have a memory storage system. It contains all of your past events. And for every situation where you've had emotions in the past, there's a possibility that you've stored those emotions in your storage system. I call that system your timeline. That's principle number 1. And principle number 2 is that these stored emotions show up in your day-to-day choices. First principle, you store your memories and your emotions in your timeline. Second principle, your stored emotions impact every choice you make. The decision to get out of bed this morning or not get out of bed this morning. The choice of relationship, the job you've chosen, your attitude about yourself, and how optimistic you are about the coming year. All are impacted by these stored emotions. So the first principle was you store your memories and your emotions in your timeline. The second principle is your stored emotions impact every choice you make. And the third principle, you have the ability to quickly and profoundly change your perspective. When you change what you're thinking, you change what you're feeling, and you change your choices. Notice in our demonstration how one moment you were feeling the anger from that anger event that you recalled. However, the next moment you were feeling excitement. Think about how profound that is. You didn't have to take a pill, a drink, or smoke anything. You didn't do anything except you changed what you were thinking, and it changed the way you were feeling. This illustrates the powerful potential of the human mind to make changes quickly and profoundly. The process that we will be doing together in this series of videos, this process, the balloon process, is based upon 3 principles. So here's how the reframing process or the balloon process will work. In each session, I will help you to access your memory storage system at the unconscious level. So what does that mean? Do you know how to check your pulse? Check it here, or as you check your pulse, your unconscious mind is the part of you that is beating your heart right now as you notice your pulse. Now, as you notice your pulse, notice you're noticing. You're not consciously trying to beat your heart. You're observing what your unconscious mind is doing. In the balloon process, you will take on the role of observer and trust your unconscious mind to do the work of releasing the stored negative emotions for you. Your unconscious mind is the part of you that is breathing for you when you're asleep. It is blinking for you right now. And if you are a woman who has had a baby, it produced a human being in your body without even thinking about it. How amazing is that? Your unconscious mind is the level where all of your memories are stored and all of your emotions are managed. So I will help you access your memory storage system, and we will release some negative emotions from your timeline. We will use guided imagery and pop some balloons. And get this, we don't have to talk about what you are releasing. In the next video, I will lead you through the process of accessing your timeline and releasing anger and resentment. Please post your questions and comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and click on alerts so you will be informed when I post the next video. Share this link with your friends, your family, and coworkers, because who couldn't use a little more peace in their lives? The next video will be an intervention to release anger. So here's to our journey together to create a productive and peace-filled 2020. See you next time.